So with the help of Hashem, we are in Alachot Nida, Siman Kuf Tzadik Vav, paragraph Yud Bet. So let's speak about the subject matter we're dealing with. We're talking about the 7 clean days. Okay, the Siman is talking about the 7 clean days and how to start, what to do if something happens in the middle. Okay, so this paragraph Yud Bet is talking about a case of mistake. Okay, she did a mistake in the count. טעתה במניין יום אחד וטבלה ושימשה. She made a mistake and she went to the mikveh one day early. Okay, instead of like waiting the 5 days and then 7 days, so within the 7 days, she thought that the 6th day is the 7th day, and she went to the mikveh. And she was with her husband. So the שולחן ערוך צריכה להמתין 6 עונות שלמות ואחר כך תמנה יום אחד נקי ותטבול. The right thing to do then will be to wait 6 periods of time of day to night, night to day. So it's basically 72 hours. And then to count 1 day, it will be a clean day, and then to go to the mikveh again.
What, she was 1 day off?
She was 1 day earlier. Okay?
Can you say that one more time?
Yes. She went to the mikveh 1 day early. Instead of waiting 7 days, she waited 6 days. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the right thing to do after, like, they understand, like, in the morning that they did mistake and they were together, like, 1 night early.
Mm-hmm.
So now she have to wait 6 or not, which is 72 hours, and then to have 1 clean day that she's counting for that day that she missed, and then to go to the mikveh again.
So it's really 4 days, basically.
Yeah.
Why do they separate the two between 72 hours and 1 day? Why
Um,
don't you say 4 days?
she needs a clean day, right?
Right.
And we learned yesterday that when a woman, she needs a clean day and she have like seed coming out of her, so it's not called a clean day.
So this is making
So-
sure she
so-
has a clean day.
Right. So after she was with her husband, it takes like 6 or not, which is 72 hours, to clean herself from his seed, so she can have a clean day.
Wow.
So she's waiting like the 3 days, 6 or not, to be able to count 1 day, and then she goes to mikveh again. Okay, yeah?
So what is that again? If she's still within that period of time, then Zara could possibly come out? Is that the problem?
After the husband and wife are together,
Yeah.
so the usually like most of the seed is going out of the body of the woman, and it takes until 3 days that it will like be like all clean. It can be much less than that. It can be half a day. It can be like hour. I don't know, but the maximum that it will take is 3 days, according to the sages. Yeah, it cannot be more than 3 days. So for 3 days she cannot have a clean day because maybe there's a seed coming out of her.
Right.
Yeah? אך סתירה שלאחר 7, כגון שלא טבלה כראוי ושימשה, הרי זו טובלת בכל עת. So if she had like blood coming out of her, and that was after the count of the 7. Okay? Or let's say like the next day after they were together, so then they hear in the local news that the mikveh was pasul last night. Something happened and whatever, the mikveh was not kosher. So it means like the mikveh was not count, so she didn't really got purified. Yeah? So in a case like that, she can just go to the mikveh and again. She doesn't have to wait like 3 days and to have like another day, whatever. She just go to the mikveh again. באר היטב ט"ו. 1. כתב השח, משמע דהכה לא נהגינן להחמיר משום גזירה דבין השמשות. So it seems that there's no stringency of the decree of the twilights that we spoke about yesterday. So just to remind you what is the subject matter there, we said if they will be together in the twilights after sunset, and she thinks it's before sunset, so then she counts it as the previous day, and it's really belong to the next day, and then she thinks that the next day is the first day out of the 3, and really it's not, because they were together in that next day, so she needs to have 3 days after that. So therefore we have to add another day besides of the 6 or not, so that becomes to be 4 days. Yeah, and then we have another day, whatever, like we spoke about yesterday. So that's the idea of the Gzera of Ben Hashmashot. So he says that here in this case we are not stringent for this Gzera of Ben Hashmashot. So she can go to the mikveh right after the 4 days. So 3 days to wait and then 1 day to count. Okay. Okay, but here the way that the Shach is saying it, so it will be actually 4 days and then 1 day clean. So the Gzera Ben Hashmashot is talking about the extra day to get to the 5 days. But he says that not to go down from the 4 days before she starts to the 1 day clean. ולא שכח שתטעה במניין, ומילתא לא שכיחה לא גזרו רבנן. So generally, it's not something that usually happens, that a woman is making a mistake in the count. So therefore, there's no decree over it. When something is not usually happens, so the rabbi doesn't make a decree for that. כתב אתה, אז אפשר לומר שמא ראתה באותן עוונות. Maybe she saw blood in those 3 days. דם אלא שכיפה ושכבת זרע. But that blood was not seen as blood because it was covered with seed. Okay? כמו שאמר סימן קצ"ג בבעילת מצווה, דעת המשני שדמים מצויים בה מחמת הבעילה. Okay. So basically the answer is that we it's not common, so we don't see that. In Simon Kuftzad is talking about a virgin that usually she will see blood, and there it's different. Okay. ט"ז. שהרי כבר ספרה זין נקיים, אלא שמחוסרת טבילה. She counted 7 clean days, but she's missing going to the mikveh. Okay, in that second case, that there was something wrong in the mikveh. יש לדמוע מה שאמר באבן העזר, סימן י"ג, סעיף ה', גר ואשתו שנגרו, מפרישין אותם צדיק יום להבחין בזרע שנזרע בקדושה, זרע שנראה זרע שלא בקדושה. Okay, so he brings in a halacha from Shulchan Aruch Even Ezer, that there we're talking about a couple of converts that they got converted together, and the halacha there is that you tell them not to be together for 90 days, to be separated, to live separately for 90 days and then to come together like a new marriage for after the conversion. And what's the reason? Because we want to make a differentiation between if she's pregnant from before the conversion, so to give the 3 months to see if she's pregnant, basically.
So this is a couple that converted together.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. so we want to see like if the child is from before the conversion or after the conversion. So to be able to say if the child is before the conversion or after the conversion, we have to make sure that like in that time that she got converted, she was not conceived. Yeah? So that's the reason that we tell them to be separated for 90 days. So now he's saying here, maybe we should do the same thing. Maybe we should tell that couple that she went to the mikveh and the mikveh was not a mikveh. So she didn't get purified and they were together. So if she got pregnant from that relationship, so the child is benida, is like from a woman that didn't go to the mikveh. So it's like less holiness. In both of the cases, the children are Jewish. Also, like converts, that the mother was pregnant while she went to the mikveh of the conversion. So the child will be like Jewish when he's born.
What does that mean?
But it's a different level of kedusha. Okay? It's a little different level of kedusha. So because it's a different level of kedusha, so he's suggesting that we will tell that couple to wait for 90 days, that we will see if she's pregnant from that relationship. And then she will go to the mikveh again and they will be together again. Okay? אין לנו להפרישה אחר שבאה עליה באיסור, כדי להבחין אם נתברה באיסור שטבלה ושלא קרוי. נראה לי דעה חמירי באישה שבעלה מצוי לה קודם לזה, נמצא שלא שייך כאן הבחנה. So he's explaining that here we're talking about a case that the husband and the wife were like together like through that time. So like there's no differentiation. Like if she went to the mikveh, but maybe she was pregnant before that she went to the mikveh and the bleeding was not a bleeding of period. Whatever, there's all so many other possibilities. So then like there's no point of like making like differentiation. אבל אם לא היה בעלה אצלה קודם למעשה זה תוך צדיק יום, ממילא צריך הפרשה אחר ביאה זו אסורה צדיק יום. But if the case was, for example, that the husband was not in the city with her for 90 days before that time she went to the mikveh that was not a real mikveh. So they were together just that time. So it can't be that she was pregnant from before, because 90 days before she, like we know that he was not there. So if she was pregnant from before the 90 days, we would have known, she would have known. So bottom line, in that case, he says that, yeah, we need to tell them to be separated for another 90 days and to be able to make the differentiation. Okay? So he says, צריך עיון למעשה. Really, it's not something that we can give like a clear instruction for the couple to not to be together for 3 months in a case like that. אבל בעברה על הדין שצריכה זין נקיים משום חימוד, כמו שאמר סוף סימן קצ"ג, אינו דומה כלל לדין זה. Okay? Now he brings in another case of a couple that they met and they decided to get married in that day, and they went together to be together in that day. Yeah, in one day they met, like they took a couple of witnesses, Arat Mekudeshet Li, and they went home together. So that's not right, because we have a principle that from the moment that you're asking a woman to get married, so she have to wait for 7 days to go to the mikveh. Yes, so it cannot be in the same day. The minimum is to make a date for the wedding for another 7 days, and to make sure she have like 7 clean days, and then she goes to the mikveh. That's the minimum. And they didn't do that. She didn't do that. So there, it's a different case. שם אין כאן אלא איסור דרבנן לחוד. So the problem there, that they didn't keep that stringency of the rabbinical prohibition. Yeah, so she went to the mikveh in the wrong time, like without waiting those days. But it's not that the mikveh was not a mikveh. The mikveh was a mikveh, and she got purified, but just like the right and not the Rabbanan. So that's a different case. בנקודות הכסף תירס דעתם כיוון שנזרע שלא בקדושה, עליו ישראל גמורו. בכמה דינים חלוקו מישראל. And the Shach in נקודות הכסף, he says that when you have relationship like that, it was without keeping all the rules, so he's Jewish, but he's not completely Jewish. So it doesn't have like the same level of kedusha of Jewishness.
So how do you become completely Jewish?
Good question. Let me just finish that, and then we're gonna discuss that. Okay. So it says that it's a different kind of a man. אבל אפילו נולד מן הנידה, קיים לן דקשר. Okay. But in the other hand, a child that his mother was nida, she didn't keep like the laws of nida, and she didn't go to the mikveh, but he's still Jewish. He's kosher, so he's ben nida, but he's Jewish. So there's there's two sides of that coin. And בית שמואל ובית יוסף כתב בשם הראש בטבלה ליל זין ושמשה ביום זין נמי לאו סתיראו וטובלת מיד. If she went to the mikveh in the night of the seventh night, and she went to the mikveh and she worked with her husband in the day, the seventh day. So
before the mikveh.
No. She went in the night of the seventh day.
I see.
And they were together in the day of the seventh day.
The following morning.
So it's basically like they again, like they did it like one day early. So he claims in the name of the Rosh that she doesn't have to wait like the 6 or not 72 hours or 4 days according to the Shach, and she can go to the mikveh right after that seventh day. כתב השחר, צריך עיון לדינה, הוא רצה להשוות דברי הסמק להראש, הוא פשוט דברי הסמק משמע לאחר זין דווקא. So the Shach is arguing with that commentary of the Bet Yosef, and he says that like he's putting together like the smak and the rosh, that really they're talking about different situations. The smak is talking about when it was already done, it was after the seventh day. Anyhow, let's speak about like the concept of what is called benida, like someone that was born from a relationship of couple that they didn't keep the purity of the family. The woman didn't go to mikveh. So what we just read here is that he have less holiness, right? Because that was his background, of, like that he came to the world through that. So is there something for him to do? Yes, definitely. Like to learn Torah and to pray and to increase his holiness. Very simple. Yeah, like he's Jewish, and as much as he will like increase his holiness and go through like process of spiritual elevation, so he will gain more kedusha and he will be more kadosh. Yeah, and it's obviously not less than a convert, someone that like was born not Jewish and then he converted to Judaism. So the same idea. Like there is like the starting point is a lower level of kedusha, but he have the door open and he can like learn and pray and like do extra, and to be elevated and to get to very high levels of kedusha. So every person, according to whatever he does, according to his efforts, so that will be the result of his level of kedusha. And it can be also the other way around. Someone that was born from a very, very holy family, and he had like a very tremendous like potential of like holiness, but he's doing wrong things and he's like bringing himself down from the level of kedusha, and he becomes to be like someone that is not holy. So there's like it goes to both directions. So there is like one thing is like what is the starting point of the person, and another thing is like what actually the person does in his life. Let's finish with a little story that there was my first like Kabbalah tradition is the Ashlag, Rav Ashlag. So they said that somebody came to Rav Ashlag and told him, "You know who I am? I am the son of such and such, this rabbi, whatever this." So the Baal Sulam, Rav Ashlag told him, that's very nice that you are the son of so and so, but who are you? Like, what are you doing? Like, where are you coming from? Great, you have like great roots, but what are you doing with this potential? Are you bringing this potential to be actual? Are you living to that standard that you claiming that you are like where you, like there's it's not the fact that someone like you have like the biggest like inheritance of his like forefathers. It means that you have like a good potential, but you still need to bring it to be actual. It's not enough just to have the potential. He needs to do something with it. So obviously the demand is higher. When someone is coming with such a great potential and like you have such a good like foundation, so then like the demand from him is that he will like do extra and use that potential more than other people.
Especially if they're using it to acknowledge themselves.
So there's it's for some people, it like the fact they're coming from like a great inheritance of like big family of rabbis, sometimes it becomes to be something that is hurting them because it makes them to be lazy. I don't need to do so many efforts because I'm already in that like top of the mountain. I'm the son of so and so, so like I don't need to do so much extra. Whatever. So each position have like the benefit and like the positive and negative. And Hashem will help all of us to take the benefit and to do the positive of whatever is it Hashem gave us in our life. Bezrat Hashem. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, amen ve'amen.